I decided to pursue the co-op option because I was convinced that when I came out of my undergrad, I would have a competitive advantage for jobs. These days, most employers value experience, and most employment is gained through networking. I was also convinced that there was a certain component of life that could not be taught in the classroom. Instead, it would have to be learned through actually getting out there and doing it. My first job was in Guelph, with a crown corporation by the name of Agricor. Luckily, the job was connected to government. My work involved the decisions made by Ontario's Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources, and I followed the politics of agriculture quite intimately. This was not what I expected as my first job at all, and that's actually a great thing. If you asked me what I wanted to do if I wanted to work in the agriculture sector as my first job, I would have probably said no. But after this job, I developed a deep fascination and appreciation for the sector. Agriculturalists are hardworking people, so I try to support local food as much as possible. I learned a lot about myself, and also how I worked. Through my first co-op job, I finally realized what skills I had and what I needed to develop. And it's with this knowledge that I would go on to apply to future jobs. My favorite job was, oddly enough, Maple Leaf Foods. And I say oddly enough because being a vegetarian, this seemed kind of counterintuitive. Considering the job was supposed to be for a STEM student, maybe an engineer or a computer science person, it was especially strange that I would not only get the job, but enjoy it. On the contrary, it became one of the best experiences of my life. I was in a Scrum team and I read several books on agile methodologies vis-a-vis project execution. It opened up a completely new potential career for me. I found that there were a considerable number of government jobs that I could find, but I ended up gravitating towards the private sector quite a bit. I thought in first year that I would want exclusively political science jobs, but eventually it didn't matter that the jobs related to political science at all. Speaking of the job I had at Maple Leaf Foods, I was specifically hired over an engineering or computer science student because of my writing and oral presentation skills that I acquired in political science classes. I was put on a team of developers that were tremendously talented in what they did, but they lacked the requisite skills to communicate the importance of their work to shareholders. And that's where I came in. I absolutely have a competitive advantage in the job market with both my co-op experience and my political science background. Not only do I have more experience than the average university graduate, but I also have skills in communication and argumentation that cannot be easily automated in the future. I would absolutely recommend co-op to a new PSI major because it's an enriching experience. Political science is not directly a job training program. The entire breadth of these more theoretical studies in arts prepares you very well for a career in academia or something of the sort. But people have a hard time conceptualizing a smooth transition of their skills into an office environment. Political science co-op is a perfect storm of theoretical classroom-based knowledge and real-world experience. My advice to new PSI majors is to be open-minded about your education. A university is not a job training center. I know a lot of people, including family, try to convince you that your undergrad must directly result in a career, but the world doesn't work the way it used to. Huge tech companies and startups are employing more graduates with liberal arts educations than ever before. The most prized commodity in today's creative economy is abstract, out-of-the-box thinking. Why not go after the tech jobs? Why not try and solve the world's biggest problems? Why not start your own business? Why not be an activist? You're as valuable as your imagination allows you to be.